Yo YouTube. I had to sit down for this one because we're going over the final Hawkeye fill-in episode here, Avengers Endgame. Again, these videos are for if you guys are getting ready to see any movie with Hawkeye, or you're really getting excited about the new Disney Plus streaming TV show Hawkeye. This is going to catch you up on everything that you really need to know about Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, aka Ronin, who he starts off this film, Avengers Endgame. Well, he becomes Ronin fairly quickly in this movie, but it starts off on Clint Barton's farm. The farm I mentioned in the Age of Ultron video, that's where they go in Age of Ultron to kind of hide. And they're here, and it's like a family picnic, and he's with his wife and his two boys, and he's teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow. And at some point, he even calls her Hawkeye when she hits a bullseye. Then, she asks, hey, his wife asks, what do you want on your hot dog? And they're like, yeah, we'll take mustard. And she's like, all right, well, soup's on, food's ready, let's go. And he's like, okay, we're coming, we're hungry. And he turns around, and his daughter is gone. And he looks around a little, and he's like, Lila? And then he's like, honey? And his wife and his two boys are gone. And he's in the middle of this vast stretch of land, this farm, where it's not like they're hiding around a corner. It's pretty much wide open space and a picnic table. And he starts kind of like just running in direct. Now, that was supposed to be how Infinity War ended. Now, we all know how Infinity War ended. Hawkeye's not in it. Infinity War ends, Thanos sitting down. I snapped. The world is balanced. And then it ends. So Endgame starts with Barton's family being snapped and dusting right in front of them. Kind of a dark freaking opening. I mean, it was kind of like you knew it was coming, but even when it happened, you were like, oh, ouchie. So this sends him on a downward spiral where for the next 5 years, because obviously in Endgame they jump 5 years into the future after they kill Thanos, but also after learning that Thanos destroyed all the stones. So there are no stones left. There's no way to bring everybody back that was snapped. So Hawkeye goes on this tear, calls himself Ronin. He drops the bow and arrow, picks up this crazy sword, and just goes around finding, criminals and villains. Since the big villain has won, he's going to go and take out all the mini villains that didn't die in the snap. He's like, yo, my family didn't survive, so you don't get to survive because you're a criminal and they were good people. And he just goes on a rampage. There's a scene like in the middle to early part of the second act where Rhodey is reporting from Mexico all these cartel members that are dead and even federales that are dead, and Natasha's like, yeah, it's probably a rival gang, and Rhodey's like, nah, it's not. It's Barton. He's like just lost it. So Rhodey lets her know where he's going to be next. Black Widow goes and finds him after like this awesome fight scene with the dude that's in Lost Season 6 who plays Dogen. I can't remember his name right now. Awesome Asian actor. Just a crazy one shot. Like they don't change cameras for like over a minute. And he's up in these buildings in Japan and he's killing all these people. Then they come down and he's one-on-one against the boss in the street. And they're doing that samurai thing where it's like one move at a time. And Hawkeye obviously kills him. And he's standing there, he takes his mask off, and it's pouring rain. And he can tell, Black Widow's standing behind him. He's like, you shouldn't have come here. She's like, well, we figured something out. This is after they discovered time travel. And Hawkeye's like, don't even come close to giving me hope. And she's like, I just wish I brought it to you sooner. So he understands that, okay, maybe she's for real here. This is like more than hope. This is something that we can make happen. So he leaves and he comes back to Avengers headquarters with Natasha, and there's the scene where Ant-Man's getting ready to do like the test run, and he's not ready for it. I mean, the guy was stuck in the quantum realm for 5 hours. He's probably not. And they were pushing time through him earlier, making him a baby and a teenager and an old man. So Scott Lang is not really ready. And Hawkeye's like, yo, I have like barely anything to live for, so I'll do it. So he does the test run. They send him into the past for a minute, and he's back on his farm. His family's all alive. He sees his daughter. He starts running to her like, hey, kind of like forgetting that they're just there to test this, that he shouldn't really, go reach out and talk to her. But he tries, and of course they bring him back to the present. And he gets up, and he's a little shook, and he's like, yeah, it worked, guys. That worked. So we need to do this now. So they obviously find out where all the stones are, find out when the stones are, and they go on their big mission, leading Hawkeye and Black Widow to Vormir, where the Soul Stone is. And if you've seen Infinity War, you know all about the Soul Stone. If you haven't, the Soul Stone is basically on this planet that's in the middle of the universe. It is the center of all celestial beings. That's how Nebula describes it. And I hate doing this when I get text messages. It's so distracting. So they go to Vormir, and in Vormir, the only way to get the Soul Stone, it's not like it's just like sitting there. You have to perform an act that's pretty life-changing, and it's an everlasting pact. You can't like redo it. You can't like do what you got to do to get the Soul Stone, then get all the stones together and snap and change whatever you did to get the Soul Stone, because here's what happens. The only way to get the Soul Stone is you must lose that which you love. A soul for a soul. So either Natasha or Clint have to die. And of course they fight over this back and forth. Natasha's like, this is the only reason I've been part of this family is so that I could save them. And Clint's like, well, my whole family died. And Natasha's like, yeah, but we're going to bring them back. So next thing you know, Natasha's running off the cliff. Clint shoots an arrow that kind of throws her off pace, not off the cliff, just she falls down. And then he takes off. He jumps off the cliff. He's flying in the air. And then Black Widow comes diving off the cliff after him, catches him, falls back, shoots one of her grapplers, hooks it onto his belt. And then he's got her by the hand. She's hanging. She's like, just let me go. Just let me go. Just let me go. And he's like, screw you, no way. And she pushes off the side of the cliff, getting her hand loose, falling down Vormir, that huge cliff, just like Gamora did in Infinity War, thus giving Clint Barton the Soul Stone, but at easily the greatest cost of all the Avengers and all the things that they did to go get all the stones. Clint had to lose his best friend, and like I've said before in the Black Widow videos, the mother hen of the Avengers is now dead. So they're like, okay, we have to make this worth it now. Okay? Like, she died for us, so we have to win. And they get all the stones together. It worked. Hulk says, I'll do it. I'm the only one strong enough to do it. He snaps his fingers. Everybody comes back. Ant-Man, they're opening all the windows in the facility, and Ant-Man sees birds and the sun's shining, and he's like, I think it worked, guys. And as that's happening, Nebula gets past Thanos, and they steal some Pym particles, and they travel to the present. So as Ant-Man is realizing that it all worked, Clint's phone starts ringing. His cell phone starts ringing, and his wife's face appears on the phone. And the slowest cell phone pickup I've ever seen. I mean, the whole time it's ringing, you're like, Clint, pick up, she's going to hang up. He picks it up. Honey? And right then, Thanos rains fire on the Avengers facility, just destroying it, just ripping this building to shreds, just going from pure elation to absolute chaos in the blink of an eye. We eventually catch up with Clint, who survived, and he's kind of like in this rubble down under, like in the tunnels of the Avengers facility, and he finds the gauntlet, and he's like, think I'll grab this. So he doesn't put it on, but he picks it up, and he's trying to get out of there. He runs into Nebula and past Nebula and past Gamora, and they eventually kill evil past Gamora, who let Thanos in, and then he gets the hell out of there. Then we jump ahead in the storyline. A lot of shit happens that's not including Hawkeye, but eventually he's out there in the battlefield when they bring everyone Doctor Strange, and when everybody comes back from being snapped, because Hulk snap worked, so everyone starts coming back, and Hawkeye's running around through the battlefield, and he's like, "Yo, Cap, like, what do you want me to do with this damn glove?" And Cap's like, "Ant-Man, where's the other time machine? Where's your van? Let's get it in the van and let's just get it out of here. We'll shoot it back like, an hour ago, or we'll just get it out of here." And that's when, So Clint's trying to get it to the van. Now, so much shit happens between now and then. It's hard to get into. I'm going to try to stay on Hawkeye, because this is right up about until like the last time we see him, up until the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. After this moment here that I'm going to describe, which is one of my favorite moments of the movie, the next time you see Clint, spoiler alert, is at Iron Man's funeral. Okay, so Clint's kind of running out of gas. Remember, he's a human. He's like, I can't run through this whole battlefield. We got to get it to Ant-Man's van. What the hell do I do? And next thing you know, you hear, "Clint, give it to me." Now, if you run back to, if you rewind to Avengers Civil War, Clint kind of goes one-on-one with Black Panther. They're about to, and Clint stops and puts his bow down and is like, "I don't think we've met. I'm Clint." Black Panther says, I don't care, and just kind of comes at him. But I think that gets broken up, because obviously Black Panther would probably destroy Clint. I think Clint even shoots 2 arrows at him, and Black Panther catches him like this, kind of like doing the Wakanda thing, like a little secret Easter egg there. But anyway, Black Panther's like, "Yo, give me the gauntlet." And Black Panther takes it and like takes off. Like, he's one of the fastest. But that's the last we see of Clint, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, the Avengers win, another spoiler. I'm not going to really go into the details of how they win. If you haven't seen that, I don't want you to stop watching, because it's worth it, and you should probably go ahead and watch it yourself. Then we see him at the funeral. Him and Wanda, Scarlet Witch, have like a little moment off to the side. They're looking out at the river, and and Clint says, "I hope she knows. I hope Black Widow knows that we won." And Wanda's like, "Yeah, she knows. They both know," referring to Vision, who's obviously dead, who was killed in Infinity War by Thanos. So, he ripped the Mind Stone out of his head. So it tied those two back together, where it started in Age of Ultron. They're still kind of like this bond. So it also makes me wonder, is Scarlet Witch going to be in Hawkeye, the TV show? And is Hawkeye going to be in WandaVision, the Scarlet Witch Vision TV series that leads into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? So that is going to do it for this video. I'm really excited about what they're going to do with Hawkeye. This is a perfect segue to lead into Scarlet Witch, whose video we'll be doing next. Again, these videos are for your friend who hasn't seen shit, and you just need them to be kind of on the same page as you when you go into the theater or you start watching the series together. This way you don't have to spend, 3,000 hours watching all the Marvel movies. You can just get your Hawkeye stuff in these videos. Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff videos coming next. We'll see you then.